What if I told you that the average American is carrying over $90,000 in debt? That's right, $90,000. Now imagine the weight of that number pressing down on your shoulders every single day. For millions of people, this isn't just a statistic, it's their reality. But here's the kicker: not all debt is bad. In fact, some types of debt can actually help you build wealth and secure your financial future. The problem? Most people don't know how to tell the difference between the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Today, we're going to break it all down. Think of debt like fire. In the right hands, it's a powerful tool that can light the way to financial freedom. But if mishandled, it can burn everything you've worked so hard to build. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the 3 levels of debt, but you'll also have a clear, actionable plan to take control of your finances and start your journey toward financial freedom. So are you ready to take the first step? Let's dive in. Let's start with a simple truth. Debt is like fire. In the right hands, it can be a powerful tool to build wealth and create opportunities. But if left unchecked, it can spiral out of control, leaving destruction in its wake. The key to mastering debt is understanding its levels and knowing how to handle each one. Think about this. What if you could look at your debt and immediately know which parts are helping you and which are holding you back? That's exactly what we're going to do today. By categorizing debt into 3 levels, strategic, neutral, and toxic, you'll gain clarity and control over your financial future. And trust me, once you understand these levels, you'll never look at debt the same way again. Let's start with the good news. Not all debt is bad. In fact, some debt can actually help you build wealth over time. This is what we call strategic debt. Think of it as an investment in your future. Take a mortgage, for example. When you take out a loan to buy a reasonably priced home, you're not just spending money, you're acquiring an asset that typically appreciates in value. Over time, that home can become a cornerstone of your financial stability. Similarly, student loans can fall into this category, but only if they're used to pursue degrees with strong career prospects. A degree in a high-demand field can significantly increase your earning potential, making the debt worthwhile. Here's the key. Strategic debt should always have a clear purpose. It's not about borrowing for the sake of borrowing. It's about using debt as a tool to acquire assets or skills that will pay off in the long run. But even with strategic debt, you need to be mindful. Overextending yourself, even for a good reason, can lead to financial strain. Next, we have neutral debt. This is the kind of debt that doesn't necessarily help you build wealth, but it's not actively destroying it either. It's the middle ground. A car loan is a perfect example. Cars depreciate in value the moment you drive them off the lot, so they're not an investment. But for many people, a car is a necessity for earning income. The key with neutral debt is moderation. If you're financing a moderately priced vehicle that fits comfortably within your budget, this type of debt is manageable. However, if you're upgrading to a luxury car you can't afford, neutral debt can quickly turn toxic. Here's a quick tip. When it comes to neutral debt, always ask yourself, is this necessary, or is it a want disguised as a need? Keeping neutral debt minimal and manageable is crucial for maintaining financial stability. Now, let's talk about the dark side of debt, toxic debt. This is the kind of debt that can destroy your financial future if left unchecked. Toxic debt is like a financial cancer. It grows and spreads, eating away at your wealth over time. The most common example? Credit card debt with high interest rates. When you're paying 20% or more in interest, you're essentially throwing money away. Payday loans are even worse, with astronomical interest rates that can trap you in a cycle of debt. Let me share a quick story about Sarah, a client I worked with. Sarah had $50,000 in credit card debt and was barely making the minimum payments. The interest alone was costing her over $10,000 per year, money that could have been invested in her future. Once she understood the levels of debt, she created a strategy to aggressively eliminate her toxic debt first, while maintaining her strategic debt. Within 3 years, she was debt-free and on her way to building wealth. Here's the bottom line. Toxic debt should be your #1 priority. Every extra dollar you have should go toward eliminating it as quickly as possible. Think of it this way. Paying off a credit card with 20% interest is like getting a guaranteed 20% return on investment. That's better than most stock market returns. Now that you understand the levels of debt, let's talk about how to take action. Here's a simple framework I call the debt freedom formula. 1. List all your debts. Write down every debt you have, along with the interest rates and monthly payments. This gives you a clear picture of your financial situation. 2. Categorize your debts. Divide them into the 3 levels: strategic, neutral, and toxic. This step alone can be a game changer because it shows you exactly where to focus your efforts. 3. Calculate the total cost. For each debt, calculate the total cost, including interest. This will help you see how much your debt is really costing you over time. Number 4, prioritize toxic debt. Create a payoff strategy that focuses on eliminating toxic debt first. Use the snowball or avalanche method, whichever works best for you. 5, set up automatic payments. Automating your payments ensures you never miss a due date, which can save you money on late fees and protect your credit score. 6, track your progress. Monitor your progress monthly and celebrate small wins along the way. Paying off even one credit card can be a huge morale boost. Of course, managing debt isn't always easy. One of the biggest challenges is emotional spending, which often leads to toxic debt. Here's a simple trick. Implement a 24-hour rule for any non-essential purchase over $100. This cooling off period can help you avoid impulse buys that you'll regret later. Another common obstacle is feeling overwhelmed by the sheer amount of debt. If this sounds like you, remember this quote from Dave Ramsey: "Live like no one else now, so later you can live like no one else." Breaking your debt payoff into small, manageable goals can make the journey feel less daunting. And don't be afraid to seek help. If you're struggling with toxic debt, consider credit counseling or debt consolidation. These resources can provide a structured path to debt freedom. Here's the thing. Managing your debt levels isn't just about money. It's about freedom. When you're not weighed down by toxic debt, you can make better career choices, invest in your future, and even improve your relationships. Imagine never having to take a job just for the paycheck, or being able to start your own business without the weight of debt holding you back. That's the power of financial freedom. If you're finding this valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What level of debt is causing you the most stress right now? Let's start a conversation. Now that you understand the 3 levels of debt, strategic, neutral, and toxic, you have the tools to take control of your financial future. Remember, your relationship with debt doesn't define you, but how you handle it from this point forward will shape the life you want to live. The path to financial freedom starts with clarity, action, and consistency. Here's your immediate action step. Take 30 minutes today to list all your debts and categorize them into the 3 levels we discussed. This simple exercise will give you a clear roadmap to tackle your toxic debt, manage your neutral debt, and leverage your strategic debt to build wealth. And don't forget, the journey to financial freedom isn't just about numbers. It's about the freedom to live life on your terms. Imagine a future where you're no longer stressed about money, where you can make choices based on your dreams, not your debts. That future starts today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And let us know in the comments, what's your first step toward financial freedom? Let's take this journey together. Your future self will thank you.